just wing it then. Oh, no, it works. Good morning, everyone. My name is Max Amordeluso, so thank you very much. I don't know where you went, but yeah, thanks for the introduction. I work for Amazon. I am the lead evangelist for Amazon Alexa. I have the privilege of working with this technology. I've been working on it for a little bit more than 2 years. And I'm here today because I want to tell you a story. I want to tell a story of why we're doing this, why voice we believe that it's extremely important and is changing the way that human beings interact with machines. So I'm here to explain why this is changing the way that we should look at opportunities, that we should have our customers interacting with technologies. So I prepared, first of all, just a little video here from 1986. So this is one of the, I think it's the fourth movie on the Star Trek series, and explains basically where we think that this is going and where we are right now.
Computer, please. Computer? Computer? Hello, computer.
Just use the keyboard.
The keyboard.
All right, so I think that we are. This is funny, but it's very real. So I have 3 kids. My wife and I have 3 kids, 8, 6, and 4. They've been using Echo and Amazon Alexa devices for a little bit more than 2 years. They're growing up with a lot of youth of the same generation thinking that it's perfectly normal to use voice, to use technology. So from using technology just to exchange information with their friends, or just to enable things, or just to use Alexa, and so on, for them is normal. So think about that. Younger generation are growing up with this. So this is happening. This is something that will become more and more normal. Now, this slide shows that every 10 years, give it or take, approximately every 10 years, something that a new user interface comes out and changes everything. So as you saw, I'll just pick on the more recent one, internet, mobile. They changed the way that we interact with each other, we interact with technology, we access information. Voice, we believe, is the same thing. Now you see on the top there, voice user interface, VUI. This is the way that we believe in Amazon that things will evolve. Is it going to take place of everything that came before? Absolutely not. Same way that mobile didn't take over other ways of interacting with technology, voice is extremely good for certain things. It's not good for everything. That's not the message. That's not the idea. But voice is natural. Voice is something that we use to exchange information with each other. We've been using it for a very long time from a human being point of view. This is how we gauge the development of new human beings, of kids. We start thinking in terms of interactions when they start speaking. So voice is ours, voice is natural, voice is immediate, voice is fast. Voice is something that most of the time we don't need to think about to use it. So this is extremely important. Think about this, a technology that you can interact with without having to learn necessarily as much as we other think. This is not, it might be not relevant for some of you, but think about this. Think about a reduced mobility person. Think about an older person, an elder. Think about how to explain to an elder how to use exactly a mobile device. But conversely, an elder might be very familiar in talking with technology. My grandma used to talk with a radio all the time, and she's been doing that for 30 years. The radio never talked back, but the point is that very common, very important, very natural. You don't have to explain. So Alexa, give me the weather. Alexa, play this music. Alexa, what's going to be, when is going to be my niece's birthday, and so on, right? So Alexa, open the door, turn off the lights. Natural, you don't need to learn. And that's why we've been doing this. So this is possible because technology, voice science, has benefited from a tremendous growth in technology. So things that could not be possible before now become more and more possible. Now, this is still the beginning. In Amazon, we've been working on this for more than 5 years. We launched the first device in the US in November 2014, but this is still day one because the bar is extremely high. We are pretty good at exchanging information with words. And by we, I mean human beings. We're good at disambiguation. We're good at understanding meanings under meanings under meanings. We use a facial expression, nonverbal communication, experience, context, right? Machines cannot do that very well. So fantastic challenges still remain. But we're getting there, or at least we believe we are. Still the beginning. Now, this is a quote from Walt Mossberg from his last column, where he brilliantly explained the concept of ambient computing. Think about, for those of you familiar with the Star Trek series, there is a Star Trek computer that is available in a lot of the environments, in a lot of the ambient. You simply talk with your environment. You talk with your room, with your office, with your car, with your spaceship, anything. But you don't focus on a device. That is the vision. That is the ambient computing idea.
Alexa, alarm off. Alexa, what's on the calendar today?
You have 12 events scheduled.
Alexa, call me an Uber.
Your Uber will arrive in 2 minutes.
Alexa, what's the weather like today?
There's a 100% chance of showers.
Alexa, pair my Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, paired.
Okay? I guess that's not the way the video goes. And I kept watching it on mine or on this screen. It worked fine. So I showed you this. I tried to show you this because I wanted to show you what actually these Echo devices are about. How many of you, can you do a quick show of hands, how many of you have actually used an Echo device? Okay, let's say 10% probably. So the idea was for the rest of you to show you these devices that you see. One of them is the little dot on the nightstand. So these are devices you interact with voice. They do things for you. They give you information. They set up your day. They provide control over physical space, raising up the blinds, setting up your music, your thermostat, and so on. Now, let's see here. What's going on? Okay, some numbers. This is absolutely not working anymore. This is brilliant. Can we reset the video? I can talk about this the whole day, but maybe you like it better if you see some images. All right, then let's use voice to talk about voice. So the point is that here that we're implementing this vision. So we're implementing a vision that is of providing ambient computing for everyone, for houses, for computers, for houses. We have certain features. One of them is called Echo Spatial Perception. So as we see that some customers are starting to use multiple devices in their houses, mine, we have a lot of Echo devices. This Echo Spatial Perception enables to gather information from all of these devices, but only the one closest to you will answer back. So that increases, oh, there is. So this is let me see. All right, so it's not there. Anyway, so the point is that we're getting there, we're working on it. So day one, but still trying to work out the naturality, so the natural way of interfacing with this technology. So this is the way. Now, some numbers for those of you that are more interested in the sizing, the addressable market or the habits. A couple of information, data points here that are relevant. The one with the little houses, we see that over 80% of the cases in houses where we do have multiple users for Alexa devices, all of them uses the device. So this becomes a social part of the house. It becomes an integral part of the fabric of the day when it's done correctly and when it's done naturally from our point of view, right? So we can create Alexa as the point of entry of connecting to a number of things in your house. Connect devices. Why not having the opportunity to get your first cup of coffee in the morning and getting your news via voice from the fridge? or from an interphone in the house, or from any other appliance, and having a seamless experience throughout your day that extends from the house to your car, then to the office, and so on. And that's why we've been working with a number of partners that are taking advantage of the framework that we exposed. Because this technology, we believe in Amazon, is not necessarily useful unless it's open to third parties. And here comes the idea about opportunities for all of you. Now, anybody in the world can develop what we call Alexa skills. Alexa skills are voice-first apps. They are the equivalent of voice apps for Alexa. And this framework you see here, Alexa Skills Kit, is a set of tools that anybody can use to develop these experiences. And we have now more than 40,000 in the world, and you can develop in American English, British English, in German, in Japanese, and so on, a number of languages. That's how you add the features to Alexa. Think in terms of Uber or Magic Door or a number of other skills, CNN, news information, and so on. Now, the other side is how you can build Alexa into a product. So think if you're a manufacturer of something, as long as this something has a speakerphone, a microphone, and an internet connection, you can take Alexa and embed it into it. So you can have experiences that you can build. I speak with a lot of startups, and one of the projects that I love the most that I'm seeing around are those related to social relevance, because I think this is fantastic technology, but if it's used to make people's life better, it's even better. It's a lot better, right? So we started seeing Alexa-enabled baseball caps. Think about visual impaired. So you put a camera, you put something like AWS recognition, and then Alexa narrates what's in front of you. Or think there is a lot of different ways that you can do this. Building Alexa into products, this is how you do Alexa voice service. Now, going a little bit deeper into an Alexa skills, is an experience that leverages your service, your backend. Everything starts with a human being. There is a wake word detected by the device. Then there is an audio that is sent up into the cloud. The cloud does what we call automatic speech recognition, natural language understanding and processing to extrapolate the intention. So that intention, the intention was to show you something, but it's not really working today. That's okay. So at the end of the day, there is a service given back to the human being. So the human being asks something to Alexa. When this intention is directed towards Alexa, Alexa does the processing, send to your third-party backend. Third-party backend sends back an answer that could be video, graphical, or sound, and then it gets given back to the user, to the human being. Now, if you do it right, this works in about half a second, and it's natural, and there is user delight as a result. Now, some of the examples on what you might think of certain ideas to develop skills. You can do things like augmenting your marketing campaigns, for example. You can create a gamified experience to create brand affinity and brand promotion without necessarily actually pushing your product on your brand. You can do something like Tide. Tide does consumer products in the detergent segment. And what they do, it's super smart because they became the de facto expert in a problem. At the end of the day here, you want to solve a problem. If you don't do something for a user, the user will disengage. This is not a channel for pitching. This is not a new channel to push out products and brands. This is a channel that needs to be leveraged to address problems. In this case, for example, I have a big spot of red wine on a white shirt. I can ask Alexa to ask Tide on how to remove wine from fabric, for example. They became the expert in solving those problems, and they created brand affinity that way. So think in terms of doing something for your customers, and then you will get into something. A couple of ideas on daily use cases. You might have products or services that plug in various areas of a consumer or a user day. For example, if you're a news provider, you can be plugged into several times with the various system. You can provide the very small pills of content with flash briefing, or you can provide deep dives into a specific topic, and you can enable a navigation or a fruition of content that is not linear anymore, but is linear until it gets outside the storyline, because the user wants to have a deeper level of information. And you can build those experiences. Or you can provide services like recipes or other things that enable a quicker control of somebody's life. Because at the end of the day, it's all about reducing friction. Now, with regards of new experiences that we're creating, there's huge categories that is called the kids skills, Alexa skills for kids. So here in Europe, this is available in the UK and Germany. You can develop specific experiences directed towards the younger ones, 16 and younger, to be used in a very safe way with the whole family. And I'll pick just one of these here, Kids Court. So in this skill, the developer brilliantly created Judge Lexi to resolve fights between kids. This is brilliant. I have 3 kids and they fight about 10 times or 15 times a day. In this skill, you can leverage, and Alexa takes control of the situation, assigning roles to the party. So there is a prosecutor, there is a victim, there's a perpetrator, and so on. This actually works because the developer used the specific best practices for these categories of users. It's all about the user, it's all about the way that they speak and they expect something to interact with. So longer prompt, make clear what is expected, and so on. Now, we also opened up several monetization programs. Now it's possible in the US, so we open up general availability of in-skill purchase. So you can now start creating experiences where you can sell additional premium experiences for your already high-quality skill. Think in terms of providing extra content. Let's say you have a voice game, like Jeopardy, for example. You can provide additional clues daily. Or if you have news, you can provide a specific premium subscriber only with this mechanism, and so on. Very powerful system to have both in-skill purchase and monetization with subscription models. That could be, they should be able to enable a lot more developers to have a monetary resolution on this. So return on the investment on their effort. Now, wrapping it up, I want to probably mention that this is the most important slide of the whole presentation. This is about people, designed by people for people, and you have to start with people. So this is an actual slide from the BBC team when they were creating one of their skills. They're playing out. They started with a very large set of conversations. They put it down on paper and they started playing it out. Because this is a tip, this is the trick. If you have a conversation, if you want to get a solid conversation that will sound natural, that will be used by your users, you have to play it out with human beings. Because if that works, you might be onto something. If that conversation sounds unnatural and it doesn't work out well, you can be sure that it's not going to be any better between a person and a machine. So start with people and have people and work it out. The message, the action at this point, the call for action here is that you can develop here from Bulgaria Alexa skills anywhere in the world. You can reach out your customers. If you have a global user reach, for example, or if you have a specific markets where you're doing business with, or if you have new fantastic ideas, you can implement it here today with this technology, with the Alexa Skills Kit. With that, I thank you very much for your patience, and I hope I trigger a little bit of curiosity and explanation of this technology. Thank you very much.